take it to the coffin, just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? What? I walk the walk, I talk the talk, I be saying what I want. When I had no deposit, closet was looking real bare. Now I made a deposit, my closet's looking super rare. Drove it really far. Crazy how did this happen, wishing on a star. It's a celebration, I ain't talking Mardi Gras. With a little patience, you'll be eating Budokan. What you want? What you want? Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin, just being honest. Never let a manufacture stack like that. And if it getting toxic, tell the boy fall back. If it was back then, I'd be tripping off that. Took a little time just to get me on track. I went from snotty to snobby, got it like, immune to everybody, this is stunt 101. Up in the club, throwing this 50s like, hated to love it, I just can't get enough. Labels from calling me, I said move if you call me please, or don't even bother me. They said, oh my apologies, they keep calling and calling. I keep stalling and stalling. Rookie of the year, my career snowballing. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin, just being honest.
Let's go. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The wrong falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouths who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen it. Show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. I'm the place. Next level. I'm coming for everything. Everything. I am the place. Remember me.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world, I ain't never sell my soul. This is God-given, so I thank him as I go. Hate to sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, show you gon' see. Yeah, God power from my head and my feet. Yeah. This colossal, what I say is gospel. I cook this with love, they gon' eat it up and swallow me. I'm from the ghetto, baby. Seen bodies in the street before I could tweet. I came from nothing, I turned a mustard seed into a million. In the discussion, had a TED talk with the higher me, show me how to run it up, I need all my cheese. Every day that I wake up, I'm pinching myself, can't believe that I'm really me. Popping shows in New Zealand, boy, you is not eating, man, we do not play in the same league. I gave my mama some racks and she asked me if I'm selling, I said, mama, please. If I was, do you think I'd let you know? Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. This is God-given, so I thank her as I go. This gon' sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Yeah, God power from my head to my feet. Yeah, run up on me, maybe show you gon' see. I chase, I just attract what you put in, you get back. I'm screaming Campbell, then still hit the dance and wherever I'm at. Feel like a champion, mamba mentality. I am the masterpiece, life is the crap. Deep love me and I can't resist it, but I'm only guilty of slipping too fast. Life is by legacy, what lies ahead of me, helping it.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mills flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake, trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run with Gibson, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 1st and 10, Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Mills. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
2nd and 5 now. Howell. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Curtis Samuel, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing again on second down. Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the third time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Dodson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
On 2nd and 10, Mills. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
They'll go play action. Howell. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 43 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. The extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake, Mills. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mills. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
They'll look to set up his blockers. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now throwing on 1st down here. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense under...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Mills now. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Mills. The Sanders has got it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Again, it's Mills. Well, this is caught by Williams. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Looking to throw again on second down. Mills. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Mills. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Mills. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Fourth down, Mills. Dancing to his left. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They'll get 34 yards there. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan